We are on a verdict watch tonight, and KPRC2's Bryce Newberry joining us now live at the Harris County Criminal Courthouse with all of the day's developments. There's a lot, Bryce.
Yeah, Keith, Daniela, after about 5 hours of deliberating, those jurors got sent to a secret hotel, ordered not to discuss the case or check their phones or TV. And you can only imagine the importance of that tonight with news of this federal lawsuit. That was the plan all along, but those allegations accuse Houston police of planting blood evidence that did not come out until this third capital murder trial. Closing arguments lasted for about 4 hours Tuesday. Harris County prosecutors and defense attorneys for AJ Armstrong making their final push for justice in the 7-year-old capital murder case.
There's reasonable doubt all the way through this case from beginning to end.
This defendant has the ability to fool everybody, but he couldn't fool Mama.
Both sides argued evidence, including tense text messages between AJ, his parents, and his girlfriend prior to the murders, the home alarm system data, the possibility that AJ's older brother actually pulled the trigger, and blood spatter evidence found just before this third trial was supposed to start.
So they have to figure out how to get those blood specks on that sticker, because they know there's never been any blood.
That blood evidence found under an adhesive badge on a T-shirt AJ wore the night of the murders, first reported by KPRC2 Investigates, is now at the heart of a federal lawsuit filed against the city of Houston as the jury deliberated. It alleges the blood was planted by or in conspiracy with one or more persons at the Houston Police Department in order to try and convict Armstrong of capital murder and to taint his reputation in the mind of the public. The suit claims AJ has suffered mental anguish and that his 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendment rights have been violated. The city hasn't responded, but the Houston Police Officers Union president wrote in a statement, "We believe that this is nothing more than a tactic that can be used to appeal should there be a conviction. There is absolutely no proof in the allegations made by Mr. Armstrong's attorney, and we stand by the hard work of our dedicated homicide investigators." And that federal lawsuit should be assigned to a judge tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, after 2 hung juries, this third jury is expected to be back here at the criminal courthouse to continue deliberating at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Reporting live downtown, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC2 News.
All right, Bryce, thank you. And by the way, we will be streaming the Armstrong Family's news conference live on KPRC2 Plus tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. You can watch it wherever you are. Just download the free KPRC2 Plus app on your connected TV or on your smartphone.
Now to our weather. We are expecting a refreshing Wednesday morning, but also watching the Gulf.
Next week, though, might bring something tropical. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley.
Look what popped up this evening, a 20% chance of development in the Gulf. This from the National Hurricane Center, the next 7 days, but this literally is the next 7 days, days 6 and 7. It's not for this week. It's not for the weekend. It's maybe for Monday and next Tuesday. The American model is fairly aggressive with something developing. So let me show you. I'll put a pause point here on Sunday. Nothing happens between now and Sunday. No rain in the forecast at all. But then notice these showers back out here on Sunday, and then especially starts to get going on Monday. This area starts to maybe close itself off. You see a little bit of a circular motion there on Tuesday. Clearly this is Corpus Christi, so between Brownsville and Houston, this wants to move pretty much over the valley and continue toward Mexico. It never becomes very strong, so I think the Hurricane Center is thinking perhaps a tropical depression could develop. The Gulf is on fire, 89-degree temperatures, so plenty of warm water there, and then it continues to move along and falls apart pretty quickly. Again, more of an indication of perhaps a tropical depression. We might get some rain out of the deal, but that's about it. I'm going to show you the European and compare that coming up in a moment. In the meantime, it is going to be a little more refreshing. It's still warm, 93 degrees, but these dew points, when it's in the 70s, it's still muggy, but 50s and 60s, that feels pretty good. And by the time we get to tomorrow morning, we should all have that. You see the humidity in the 30% range, even at this hour for a lot of us. So we should wake up to some pretty nice temperatures. From 12 to 3, we're still in the 80s. We get to 4, 7 a.m., we're falling into the mid 70s. And it looks like a lot of you even a little cooler than that. But then we warm up pretty fast again tomorrow. So here's what I'm tracking and watching. Overnight, 60s north, 70s south. I'll go over your neighborhoods coming up in weather. And then how long? We're back to a hot weekend. The Gulf Watch, the American and the European model, I'll go over those straight ahead in my forecast. Keith?
All right, we'll see you in a few, Frank. Thank you. With this this August heat, people in a Spring neighborhood say they are fed up with CenterPoint Energy and what they call daily power outages and surges.
Residents in the Harmony subdivision are telling KPRC2's Bill Barajas they've been forced to spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars to replace items damaged by interruptions in service. All new at 10 o'clock tonight.
We're talking AC units, home appliances, and electronics. So residents here telling me that in the past 2 days, they've had about 6 power surges and 2 power outages. They say it's been a problem here for some time, but it seems to be getting worse and worse.
Some of the ways we've tried to mitigate and prevent our losses right here. So we've hired electricians to come out and install these surge protectors.
It's a proactive measure. One Jeremy Butler is hoping will keep him from having bigger problems.
So basically what this does is this eats a surge. So when a surge comes through, it comes through the main line, the electrical line, and this thing is designed to just eat that surge so that it doesn't go to the AC unit. Because when it gets to the AC unit, that's when circuits can get fried, condensers can get fried.
Butler says the device cost him several $100s, but it beats having to replace or make repairs to his AC unit like some of his neighbors.
Several neighbors have had to replace their AC units at least once. We've got electronics that have had to be replaced.
Butler tells us it's a big problem throughout the area. He and his neighbors have reported it to the Public Utilities Commission and CenterPoint Energy, but say it doesn't seem to be getting better.
It's getting to be anger, frustration, despair. I mean, it's depression.
We reached out to CenterPoint Energy about the problem and obtained this statement. They said in part, quote, the majority of these interruptions have been caused by vegetation-related issues such as tree branches coming into contact with our power lines. We have been executing a safe and robust vegetation management plan with approximately 40 miles of a total 47 miles of tree trimming completed on the circuits in the area since June. CenterPoint added that they expect the vegetation management plan to be complete by the end of this month. They say unexpected outages may continue to occur while they complete that work and other repairs. They added that they apologized to their customers. To read the full statement, go to our website, click2houston.com. In Spring, Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
Bill, thank you. Only on 2 tonight, new developments on this illegal dumping that we exposed in an area of Fort Bend County.
So we checked, and this pile of trash is still there on FM 1464 near Mornington Drive. KPRC2 investigator Mario Diaz has put in several calls trying to find out what is taking so long to clean up this mess.
After 4 days, this pile is still here. Residents tell me they want it gone. But the question is, who is responsible for it?
I just wonder who's going to take care of it.
We first exposed this illegal dumping pile off a popular stretch of FM 1464 in unincorporated Fort Bend County last Friday night. Residents were grateful then, as well as today.
I say thank you very much for, taking care of this.
This pile has been referred to as a junkyard, and no one around here, whether it's homeowners, renters, or even business owners, want to have this pile around.
I get a lot of complaints from the customers.
Ariana Sanchez says the illegal pile is a consistent eyesore that no business should have to deal with. How frustrating is it for small businesses like yours to have that right beside it?
It's very frustrating.
Fort Bend County officials say there are investigators working in tracking down the owner of the property, but thus far they have been unable to connect with them. County Commissioner Andy Myers, whose precinct the pile calls home, tells KPRC2 investigates, I take illegal dumping very seriously, and that is why my staff and I are working with Fort Bend County Environmental Health and the District Attorney's Office to resolve this situation as soon as possible. I cannot comment further because this is an active legal investigation. The bottom line for area residents, just get the job done. What's your message to those who are responsible for helping get this addressed?
I mean, come on, do better.
Mario Diaz, KPRC2 News.
New at 10 tonight, scary moments caught on camera for 45 students aboard a Kingwood Middle School bus, but parents and Humboldt ISD are telling 2 different variations of the events. A parent reached out to KPRC2 saying the bus driver went off route and missed several stops before he finally stopped. That is when angry parents confronted him. Police were called and all students on board were reunited with their parents. It turns out this may have all been a misunderstanding. According to Humble ISD, the bus driver went back to the school to drop off a disruptive student. When the driver returned to their route, they felt they were being followed, causing the missed stops, then confrontation. In a statement, the district says, quote, parents who have concerns about a bus should not board it nor attempt to interfere with the route. Disruption of transportation can put students at risk and may result in a citation. Parents should call the transportation department at 281-641-8720 if they have questions, a question or concern. Danny?
All right. Well, as recovery efforts continue, we are getting a closer look tonight at the destruction in Maui. Thousands of structures destroyed, with many losing everything. If you're wondering what you can do to help, next at 10, we're going to break down ways that you can give safely and avoid disaster scams. We'll be back.
We will gradually, over the course of the next 8 to 10 days, know exactly how many people. It went up about 15 people in the last day. So you can get an idea that over the course of the next 10 days, this number could double.
That was the governor of Hawaii providing an update on the death toll from those deadly Maui wildfires. Governor Josh Green says at least 99 people have died, and that number could double over the next several days, as you heard him say. The governor says it is currently unclear exactly how many people remain unaccounted for, but at last check, it was around 1,300. The wildfires caused an estimated so far $5.5 billion in damage. In Lahaina, where more than 80% of the city was destroyed, many there say that they've been struggling to get help and get the help they need.
So a group of residents have set up a one-stop shop relief area to help with things like water and food and some hygiene products.
The first necessity we have, of course, was water. Our water system was shut down at the time, so we gathered up bunches of water, juices, sodas. We have fresh fruit from all over the island here, papayas, bananas, fresh breadfruit. This is a big staple for us Hawaiians.
And tonight, help is pouring into Maui from all over the world. But the Better Business Bureau wants to remind everyone to do their research before donating to any recovery effort.
The Bureau says online scammers are ready to take advantage of your generosity. Here are 3 methods to protect your donations from ending up in the wrong hands.
Thank all of you for your donations.
Volunteers are stepping up, helping the thousands who lost everything in last week's deadly Maui fires.
We're just trying to help as many people as we can.
The images are heartbreaking, the need is great, and the donations are pouring in from around the world. And creating a perfect opportunity for online scammers.
Scammers do take advantage of disaster.